Afternoon. There's a topic trending on Twitter today. In Abuja yesterday, the police raided a club and arrested over 70 women and charged them with sex trafficking. And then they threatened them that if they don't pay 5,000 naira, I guess it's 5,000 naira for the bail. I think the 5,000 naira was for bail. They would rape them. So they have two options: either they pay 5,000 naira to get rid of the false of the charges, or they get raped. So most of the ladies that didn't have the 5,000 naira at hand were raped with pure water sachets. Again, I need to understand that these are not random people raping women. These are the police who are supposed to be the custodians of the law. This is the police who is supposed to be the protector of our individual human rights. I have and of course, if you go to Twitter, so many people by right are enraged. Like, so many people are enraged, and the call on instance, I think on 2016 there was a documentary that was done, Silent Tears, where they highlighted the trouble the women in Abuja face. So this is not like a recent something. This is not like something that is new. It's been happening. It's very fortunate that it just came to the attention was brought to social media, so a lot of people are talking about it. So people are now giving instances where it's not the first time. There's a very common happening in Abuja, so we need to work on it. And what actually got my attention was the IG of the police actually spoke, and Nigerian style, he defended the police, and he claimed that those women were sex workers that have been distributing HIV and causing chaos in the city. This is what the IG of the police said. Somebody that is meant to be the custodian of the law. Okay, let's assume, because there is so many loopholes on that. You went to a club, a random club, and arrested random. I need to understand that you arrested random women. How do you know? So that means I can't go to a club. The funny thing is that women are not in the club. Men and women are in the club. So why were only the women arrested and the men were not arrested? Again, does it mean that I, as a person, because I know I'm not a sex worker, does it mean that I cannot go to a club? So if I go to a club, I'm automatically tagged a sex worker, because that's the implication of the statement the IG made. You can't arrest somebody and falsely charge the person without credible proof. And then when you charge the person, you threaten the person with the basic rights. Like, you threaten the person, police, you threaten to rape a person simply because they don't have 5,000 naira bribe to give to you. I really don't understand this country. Like, it's really hot, it's really painful, because the way the country is going, especially in this Buhari tenure, it's as if there is no respect for democracy. It's as if that we are slowly entering tyranny. It's as if slow and steady we are going back to the military age, where even the people that were meant that supposed to understand the law, they have no respect for the law. So if the police that are meant to be the good guys are the ones doing the raping, what happens to us? Do we have hope? Do we have hope as women? Do we have hope as Nigerian women? When a random guy does the same thing to somebody out there, can we go and meet those police for succor? Because the same police are doing the same thing the random guy outside is doing. It's really painful. It's really painful. And what made me so aggravated is that our president, or anybody from Master Rock, even if it's his social media PA to social advisor, nobody is yet to say something about this. But nobody is yet to say something. It's as if we are just ranting in a normal Twitter rant. There is no investigation. There is no call to order. There is no call to arrest the policemen that did the raid. There is nothing to show that the lives of the citizens are valued. It is really painful, and it's really, really sad, because it's not the first time. It's not the second time. Nigeria is turning to something I don't understand. And little and steadily, the rape culture It's becoming a thing in Nigeria. It's becoming a thing in Nigeria where you can rape somebody and you can go scot-free. Because when you go to a policeman, they'll ask you, what did you do? How are you dressed? It's your fault. If you see women in the club and you automatically tag them sex workers because they're in the club, and you left the men and then you arrested the women, and let's evaluate the excuse the policeman gave, because he said that they were the ones spreading chaos and HIV. Okay, and they're sex workers. I'm sorry, are women only the carriers of HIV? Women in the club, are women only known as, is a name prostitute? Is it gender based? I need to understand, because I know the name prostitute is not gender based. Is the name prostitute a word only for women? Because it seems like in a country like Nigeria, when you hear the word prostitute or sex workers, your mind go to women. Are women only the carriers of HIV? So you go to a club of men and women, and then you arrest the women, and you charge them without any credible proof, simply because they're in a club. They're automatically sex workers. And yes, the men are there, they're not, but the women are sex workers. And the painful part is that there are people that are trying to justify these actions on Twitter. Like, I'm telling you, for reals, it's really, really sad. I saw it and I was like, are you serious? So there are people like this in this country that are trying to justify, finding the sweet English or whatever to justify the actions of the police. Saying, why are these women dressing like this? Why would they be doing sex? God, walking and all those things. Kekerike. It's sad. It's sad. Now, I don't have a I'm not here in any way supporting the act of being a sex worker. I am not supporting it. I am not. It's morally wrong, but I'm not here to be a judge. I am not God. Okay, the morality of a crime does not make it legally wrong. That something is morally wrong doesn't mean it is legally wrong. Something is legally wrong is affecting the nation. So when a policeman said they cause chaos, that's a good reason. But do you have proof? You can't just charge them without legal representation. You can't just charge them without proof that they're sex workers. Or because you saw them in a club, that means they're sex workers. In a country that understands democracy, when you arrest them, you should at least look for proof. First of all, you can't just go and arrest people in a club without any proof. But let's assume that since our country is not very little about the law they seems represent, that you arrest them. What a country that understands democracy should do is that you wait for legal representation. You bring to them their charges and you wait for legal representation. You don't just firstly charge a person and then you want them to pay 5,000 naira. That's bribery and corruption. That is Nigeria. And when they don't pay you, you rape them with pure water sachets. It's really painful. It's honestly painful. As the day goes by and I'm like wondering, I honestly wonder what's the fate of Nigeria like. Where are we going from here? Like, is there hope for us? I don't know. I just keep it positive that thank God for social media. At least we get to air our voice opinion and all those things, because this is a country that don't give a damn, that don't care about the people that claim to represent. It's very painful and very sad.